Hello, it's Helen Pollock, the Content Doc here, and I'm delighted to be joined today by Morrison Ellis of Sounds Urgent. So, Morrison helps people with their audiobooks, and audiobooks is not something that I know loads about, I have to say. So, I'm really interested to hear what Morrison's got to say. Now, Morrison works as a producer and editor of audiobooks and also as a voiceover artist. So, thanks so much for joining me today, Morrison.
Hello, Helen. Hello, how are you? It's great. It's great to be here. Great to chat with you today and discuss what I do. And I love what you do over at the Content Doc as well. So it's a great
Thank
combination.
you. That's very kind of you to say.
Cool.
So, as you may know, I am on a mission to save aspiring authors of business and non-fiction books time, money, and hassle by letting them know what they need to know before they approach professionals in other bits of the publishing process. So, as I say, I don't really know that much about audiobooks. Today, it's your turn to
Oh, okay.
answer that the question, which is, what are the top three things that you wish people knew before they come to you that might save them time, money, and hassle? So,
Okay.
number one, take it away.
Number one. Okay. Number one, when producing an audiobook, it's best to try reading it out aloud. I know it's your baby, it's your book, you've written it, and you must have read out a few passages, but reading the whole book out aloud from start to finish, you get to find out where there are breath points, where there should be more commas, and some things work well in audio and some things don't. For example, footnotes, endnotes, and diagrams. Footnotes you may want to put in an audio production at that point where they're mentioned. That way, if someone's listening in their car or running or walking, they can have access to that information. They don't have to wait to the end of the chapter or skip back or forward to find that information. End notes are normally websites, addresses, and page references and things like that, quote references. Are they that important? Does somebody want to sit through and listen to those in an audiobook? So decide beforehand, before going into the studio, or if you're recording from home, do you need to include the end notes? And when it comes to diagrams and things, does the text explain the diagram? If so, remove it. The person's probably listening in their car, they're running, they've got the radio on or something like that, they've got it on their smart speaker. They haven't got time to look down at a document and look at the diagram. So spend a bit of time maybe writing alternative text for the diagram to make it flow a lot easier. So that's tip number one. Shall I go straight into
Brilliant.
the next one? Next number.
Yes, without further ado, let's move on to number
Yeah,
two.
so number two is do research, do your pronunciation research. Different names, tricky names. You may have said a name many a time, but you may be saying it wrong. And there are many resources out there for looking up names. For example, Merriam-Webster, forvo.com, Youglish, and other websites. I had a situation once where I provided an audio document of an annual report and accounts, and the chief executive's name was Mr. Stein, or was it Stain, or Steen. So I telephoned the head office actually of the FTSE 100 company, and I said, "Your chief executive, is his name Stein or Steen or Stain? What is it?" And they said, "I don't know, I'll put you through to his secretary." So they put me through to his secretary, and the secretary said, "You know what, I've been working with this guy now for 20 years and I still don't know what his name is." So it's very hard. So sometimes maybe reach out on Twitter or other places, but make sure you do your pronunciation research in advance. The producer is there to help with these sorts of things, but the more you can do beforehand to save time so you can get down to narrating the audiobook, the better. So that's number
Great.
two.
Top tips there.
Cool.
So, finally, number three.
Number three, food and drink. Food and drink. What you eat and drink before the session, the day before, and on the day makes a big difference to the recording process. Don't have things that are too spicy or too fatty, as they can make your stomach gurgle and rumble. The editor, some good editors can remove stomach rumbles, but it's best to try and maybe eat some porridge in the morning and drink plenty of water. Water is good for the vocal folds. It lubricates the vocal folds and it helps with enunciation. And most of all, it helps with concentration, because you've got to concentrate quite hard when recording your audiobook. And also I've got a bonus tip which I'd like to add, which is just have fun, just be you. People are buying the book for you to hear you tell your story. So have fun with it, tell your story, and it'll become an audiobook bestseller.
Ah, fantastic. Thank you so much. There's some really great advice there. I mean, I hadn't really thought about how you would translate diagrams, say, for an
Yes,
audiobook. So I think that the people who are watching this video are going to find that really useful. So
brilliant.
if people want to get in touch with you, Morrison, how can they do that? What's the best way?
They can contact me via my website, www.soundsurgent.co.uk, or they can contact me on Twitter or Instagram or LinkedIn. I'm very up on social media, and I always love to chat. And if you just want to chat about any aspect of the audiobook production process, whether you're recording in a studio or recording at home, I'd be delighted to help.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for your time today, Morrison. We really
Pleasure.
appreciate it. And yeah, as I say, I'm sure people are going to find this really useful. Thank you
Thank,
again.
thank you for the opportunity, and have a lovely day.
You too. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.